Greetings, guys. In this video, I'll be learning how to fix punctuations in text, or in a given text. So, main.go, just like this. So, we're creating a main.go file. Touch main.go. So, in our main.go, this same main.go is still the same function or the same file that was used when converting from hexadecimal binary to decimal, and from the same octal, like what in base 8 to decimal. So if you need understand how it was done, you can go back to the former videos. Here I'll just paste it. It's still the same function. In the function main, we check the length of the argument, and our usage is go run dot input text dot output. So if it's not there, then return an error. So our input file takes the first argument, output takes second argument, then process our file, then we check for the error. If there's an error in our output data, then return error. Then we actually give the permission 0644 and check our, we printed our success text to the console. So let's create another file called punctuation.go. Here we're writing a function to fix punctuation. Sorry, touch computation.go. So here we're going to write a function to fix punctuation. Package main import. We'll be importing from strings. So function fix punctuation. It takes in an input of word, which is a string, and it will give out a string. So we're going to write our punctuation. We create a variable for punctuation. So punctuation, yes. So with a slice of string. So punctuation, we have a comma, full stop, question mark, exclamation mark. We have our quotes. So now, let's create our sample text. Sample.txt. Sample.txt. So let's just write some sentences that would need modification, like where we need to fix our punctuation. Say there are let's say 5 books, 4 laptops. 4 laptops and 3 desks in the lab. Then under this thing, under sentence is what is your name? So let's go back to our punctuation.go. So our text. Now we're going to create a variable. We'll take in the initial word. Like if the initial word or if the word or our sample text does not need any modification, it should return the word. Let's say initial word. Initial word is word. Our initial word is the word. So let's read our punctuation. So give me the variable of p, range punctuation. Now, here, after we've ranged the punctuation, then we're going to modify. Here is where the modification takes place. So where do we want the modification to take place in our word? Let's say our word is, we're going to use strings dot replace all. This is a function. This string dot replace all is text in an argument like of the word, we need to replace word, how the word was and how the word will be. The former plus the former and the new. Let's say the old and the new. Here we have a space before the comma. Then we're going to remove space and just replace it with only comma. So we have space before the punctuation, right? Plus P, that's string concatenation. Then replace with P. So then we check initial if initial word is the same as the word. So just on it. I have to return text. Return the word like that. Then return word. Return word. Let's call our fixed punctuation in our main.go. So function to fix punctuation after a process file. So let's say process file is fix function in process file. So let's run uh our file. So results. You can see the space before the comma has been removed. The space before the full stop has been removed. What is your name? The space before the question mark has been removed. But there's still something I would like us to. Let's just say there's a comma before this in. So let's run it again. Now result. You can see that after the punctuation, like the comma punctuation, there is no space after the punctuation. So we need to check that. Then for us to do that, we need to check what would come after that punctuation. What will come after that punctuation could either be a string or an integer. So let's create a variable. So let's create a variable of alphanumeric. Alphanumeric are numbers and letters. So with the string, let's say A, B, C, A, B, C, D. So let me use N. A, B, C, A, B, C, D, N. And 0 to 9, 0, 1, 2, 3. So we are supposed to write all the alphabet in lowercase and uppercase. That's A to Z, lowercase. But because of the sample text, it's I. So let me just include I. So to make it faster, you could add that on your own. I should be I, not just N. I. Okay, let me move the N. So A, B, C, D, I. A, B, C, D, I. So because of the I, so this is just for the purpose of learning. So if you want to do yours, just write the whole alphabet in lowercase and uppercase and 0 to 9. That's alphanumeric. So now, just add we're going to range our alphanumeric also. So let's just say alphanumeric to stand for alphanumeric N range alpha numeric. The range alphanumeric. So yeah. Okay, sorry. Let us range our punctuation first. We're going to range punctuation again. For range alphanumeric. So let me just change this to punctuation. They will now range alphanumeric plus range punctuation. Yes. Then inside it again, we'll range our alphanumeric. Let's say N. So range alphanumeric. So now, after ranging this, we say word. We're taking a modification here with a word. Yes, our input word. Then in word, so strings replace all in word. Then how does what we want to change? How does it look like in our scale of text? That is, we want to replace this comma plus this our string with there should be after the punctuation, there should be a space for the string. So word. So before, sorry. So before it was punctuation. Before it was punctuation plus of alphanumeric. Then but to replace it with punctuation plus you should create a space. You should create a space before the string of our alphanumeric. That is, after the punctuation, there must surely be a space. That is, it will check for all our alphanumeric string, like A, B, C, D. If it is A or B or C or D that comes after punctuation, it will add space. Then check for we check if initial is the same as the word return word. With name. Yes. So we're going to check for initial. If initial word is same as the word, so return word. So let's take this back. Let's bring this back here. Oh, sorry. This should be a variable. What I'm saying. This one. Yeah, I was in definition. Sorry. This should come in here. If initial is equal to word, we should return the word, not outside. It should come in after this. If initial is equal to word, we should return the word. Just so let's try to run our results. Can you see? There are 5 books, comma, and a gap, 4 laptops and 3 decks. That's fixed the punctuation here as well. So that's all fixed punctuation. So you can practice it with other punctuation like quote, semicolon, colon. No, yeah. Have a nice day.